What's up, everybody? I am here with another book review. This time, I want to talk about probably what most consider is the best Goosebumps book in the original series. This is, of course, The Haunted Mask. This is not my very first copy of this book. I remember getting a copy of this at a Goodwill when I was really little, and I wasn't super nostalgic for the book, which is surprising. I was way more nostalgic for the episode. I watched the episode multiple times throughout my youth. I watched it a lot as a kid during Halloween. It was like my Charlie Brown's Halloween. But yeah, this will probably be the book that I'll be holding up in the review. But I do have some other copies, and I have some merchandise I wanted to show off. There's a lot of Haunted Mask merchandise, so hopefully in the future, when I do other reviews, I'll be able to show off more of my collection too in that. But right now, I'm going to show off some of the books. I have the reprint cover of came out in like what 2007 or so. No, 2008, I would think. And it does have some special features. It has a Q&A with R.L. Stein, some safety tips, how to get like a lot of candy and stuff like that in the back. Let's see what else that has. I know there's more things in here. Oh, like a history of masks, which was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the reprint. I also have this. This is like the thing that's in the tin that they sell, like the 25th anniversary or the. It's one of the three now tins, the retro tins, which is really cool. I like this. And then of course I have the 2003 reprint. I think it's 2003. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the original copy that I have here is the one I'm going to be holding up. And oh yeah, one more thing. Totally forgot. I do have one thing of merchandise I wanted to show. I might show off the other thing too. Um, I do have an original haunted mask, or not an original, but from Trick or Treat Studios. Pretty cool. And of course, I have the haunted mask, whatever you call this thing. It's at Walmart. I bought all of these when they first came out. They are still in the package. I don't plan on taking them out. So yeah, the haunted mask. There's really not much I'm gonna say about this book that hasn't already been said. This is like a lot of people's favorite books. I mean, a lot of people's favorite in the original series. If you wanted a perfect Goosebumps book, it's this one. When I was a kid, I was kind of on the fence of like, even though everybody loved this and loved Slappy, I was like, that's not going to be my favorite. And even now, I'm still not like that. Um, it is a good book. It is a very, very great book, very perfect book. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my favorite. And I'll get more into that towards the end of the video. But yeah, the story itself follows Carly, Beth, and Sabrina. They're at school and they're talking about what they want to be for Halloween. Sabrina says she wants to be a cat, and Carly Beth is saying that she wants to be something scary because she's tired of getting scared, and everybody's kind of picking on her about being scared and stuff. She gets ready to eat, and somebody puts a worm in her sandwich. That scares her. And then, like the next day, they're in science class, and one of the kids shout out that there's a tarantula loose. She scares her again. And even before that, Steve Boswell, which is Carly Beth's frenemy, him and Chuck, they scare her the most. Um, but Steve like grabs her shoulder and scares her. Different things like that. Different things like this happen. Even her little brother scares her at one point. She comes home and her mom made her a duck costume to wear for Halloween. And she doesn't want to be a duck. She wants to be something scary again. And she notices there's this party store, like I think on the way home from school, and she wants to go over there and see what kind of masks they got. And after the scare in the lunchroom, she says, or I think it's the scare in the that her brother does. You know, it really gets her going. Like she's really wanting to scare somebody. So she sneaks off while she's babysitting her brother, and goes and finds the mask shop. It's a little party store, like in the middle of town or whatever. And there's this weird guy with a cape and a mustache there, and he lets her in, lets her kind of look around to see what all they have. And she doesn't see anything except she spots this room that's in the back, and there's a bunch of these masks, and there's some really awesome like descriptions of these masks. It's like an alien and different things like that. And she spots the haunted mask here, and in the episode, she actually like steals it, throws money at him and runs out the store because he refuses to sell it. He refuses to sell it here too, but eventually she kind of just talks him into selling it, which I think the episode did that a little bit better because it kind of made like a whole moral like you shouldn't steal. I guess that's how I always looked at it as a kid. But she took the mask, carries it home, puts it on, and scares her brother. I think first, if I remember right. I might be confusing the episode with the book again. Sean Stevenson over at Sean Stevenson Books pointed it out perfectly. This was kind of hard to really get invested in because I was so used to everything. Like there was nothing new. The only thing I can think of that was really different was the scene in the science lab, and that's like 2 pages long, and that's it. Other than that, this is pretty straightforward from the episode. But yeah, um, she ends up going trick or treating that night, and she scares Sabrina, and she starts doing these weird stuff. Like she starts scaring little kids, saying very disturbing things to them. She even says like in her head, like to one of the moms that she wants to like eat her bones or something. It's really really weird, and that's another thing I will point out too that I didn't remember it being like that dark and that um atmospheric and just it was very cool. Like this book is just I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just a very it just is stuck like it holds up over time. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Haunted Mask is great. So she puts the mask on and she's scaring these kids. She throws apples at these people's houses that give her apples instead of candy. And yeah, so she's really acting very strange. I also forgot to mention another thing. Her mom at the beginning of the book has this plaster head thing made for her, and she puts it on a stick and carries it around with her. And so there's a scene where, and this always kind of stuck with me in the episode more. Again, the book I really don't remember, and I think it's just because it's so much like the book or like the episode. There's a scene where the mouth moves and it says "Help me," but they play it off as like maybe the shadows are doing it, but it's very, very insane. But yeah, so more things start to happen. Eventually they get to the house, and she catches back up with Sabrina. She scares Chuck and Steve, and she goes to try to take her mask off, and it won't come off, and she can't get it off. It's staying with her. She's freaking out, and she looks in the mirror, and one of the scenes that really sticks with me, even as the episode, book, whatever, it really does stick with me, and I still think it's weird. Is she says those aren't my eyes; those are somebody else's eyes, which is very like really terrifying as a book, but yeah, that's basically the gist of the haunted mask. It's about a girl who gets relentlessly scared and bullied, and she wants to get revenge, so she buys a mask, she puts it on, and it's supposed to, I guess it's some kind of meaning where you don't need to like go to other people's ends to do stuff like this. I guess I worded that right, but yeah. The Haunted Mask, no surprise to anybody. This is a 5 out of 5 stars read. There's literally nothing wrong with this. One of the some of the things that I really enjoyed. There's a lot, but there's a scene where she's running from the masks. I actually forgot about that scene, but the masks. She says it's like a floating parade of like ghouls are chasing her. The descriptions again of the mask is very awesome because it says it has like animal teeth. Like I don't know. It's almost like it's very vague on what the mask is supposed to like look like, kind of. But I mean, we see a picture of it, and I think Tim Jacobus did a perfect job of like saying, "Oh, it looks like this." I don't remember if it says it has like green skin or not. I really don't. But yeah, I would like to know what like the mask is based off of. Is it like some kind of mythical monster or what? Very cool stuff. But yeah, the haunted mask. Easy, 5 out of 5 stars. There was nothing that I was going to say here that hasn't been said already by anybody who's ever read this book. Um, I will say again, this is not my favorite in the series, even though this is 5 out of 5 stars. It's better than about one of my 5 star reads, I think. But there's two that I'm still stuck on. I don't know which one I like better after rereading them. I kind of do, and then when I talk out loud, um, I kind of change my mind. So yeah, ranking these are going to be very difficult, but yeah, for now, The Haunted Mask, 5 out of 5 stars. Very fun book. Highly recommend it if for some reason you haven't read this one. Yeah, this is a fun reread, and yeah, I look forward to reading more Halloween books for the original Goosebumps series. I do have Attack of the Jack o' Lanterns and The Haunted Mask 2 lined up. Kind of a spoiler on my TBR, but really look forward to reading those two and knocking them out. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.